Schools in Japan have a different setup than schools in the United States. In Japan, grades 1st through 6th are in primary school. 7th through ninth grade students are in lower secondary school or junior high. 10th through 12th grade students are upper secondary school or high school students. To enter into high school, students must take rigorous entrance exams to get into their first choice. Because of the difficulty of these exams, in lower secondary school, students are counseled so that they feel relatively assured of a place in their school of choice. Students are only required to have 9 years of school in Japan, but less than 4% of the students choose to drop out of school because many jobs focus on which university a person graduated from. Japanese universities also have entrance exams that are considered even more stressful than high school entrance exams, because the university a student gets into influence the rest of their life, including where and what they get as a job.
Generally, parents will spend money on all levels of school, mostly for lunch, school supplies, though textbooks are free, field trips, and club activities. Primary and lower secondary schools do not require tuition because they are mandatory schools for the children. However, once the student reaches high school and university, they have to start paying tuition to attend school. Public school tuition is not as high as a private school's, but the tuition of juku, or cram schools, make them about the same.
The majority of the Japanese students attend juku to help prepare for entrance exams. Some students begin attending as early as primary school because their parents want them to be able to attend the best schools in the future. Juku are generally stricter than private schools because they are designed to ensure students pass the entrance exams for their first choice of high school or university.
There are several types of schools in Japan: public, private, and escalator. Public schools are like they sound, less expensive than the private and escalator schools, but available to all students. Private schools are generally funded by a company and student tuition. This allows for a higher educational standard as well as a higher success rate. Escalator schools are schools that are connected to universities, and the students do not have to take entrance exams to attend the university. Some schools start as early as elementary level, and some only have high schools connected to the university. Many escalator schools are also sponsored by companies, and graduates have a higher chance of being hired in that company in the future. In Japan, the school year is split into 3 terms with small breaks in between. The year begins in April and ends around July 20th for summer break. The second trimester is from September to about December 25th, and the final trimester is from early January to March. For most Japanese students, the school week is Monday through Friday, just like us. However, it wasn't always this way. Students used to have classes on Saturday, but after a while they got reduced to half-days and were eventually thrown out altogether. Though some private schools and more rarely public schools still implement a few Saturday half-days throughout the year, depending on if the school thinks its students need more hours to learn. In elementary school, the day begins at around 8:30 a.m. and ends at around 3:50 p.m. In junior high and high school, the day begins at around 8:30 a.m. and ends around 3:30 p.m., but students usually stay after school for club activities which last till about 5 p.m. To many, the most famous aspect of Japanese schools is the uniforms. Most public elementary schools do not require uniforms, so the children just wear street clothes. Junior high uniforms are usually a gakuen or a sailor uniform, while high school uniforms are usually the combination of a blazer, dress shirt, and a skirt or pants. Schools have different variations of uniforms, but they follow these basic designs. Some schools are doing away with uniforms, although they still have guidelines or a dress code. Universities have no uniforms. Students have 3 pairs of shoes. When students enter the school, they must put their outdoor shoes in lockers or cubbyholes and change into indoor shoes. They also have a pair of athletic shoes for gym. Some schools require students to purchase identical athletic apparel. Gym clothes are usually a white shirt and blue or black shorts that reach near the knee or mid-thigh. Students also eat their lunch in their classroom. In elementary and junior high, students are provided meals by the school lunch system, called kyoshoku, at the cost of a small fee. The food is made in a kyoshoku kitchen in the school or a kyoshoku center near the school building. The meals are designed to be nutritious and balanced.
The Monbusho, a ministry of the Japanese government dedicated to education, decides the outlines and minimum requirements of all school curriculum, namely the subjects and how many hours are required. In elementary school, the classes are Japanese, social studies, arithmetic, science, music, art, home economics, physical education, moral education, and special activities, which are like the after-school events in the U.S. In junior high and high school, the subjects are essentially the same, but with the addition of electives in physical education. English is predominantly taken as an elective, which is chosen by the school principal. Students are required to participate in a club for 3 50-minute class periods per week. Most students are a part of after-school clubs. For high school, only one class for a club is required. Classrooms are square in shape and plain in color and design, and connect directly to the hallways. There are little decorations, if any, so as to promote a learning environment with fewer distractions. In most schools, students will stay in one room all day while the teachers switch from one room to another, though in Japanese universities it is the opposite. Depending on the school, in the morning, afternoon, or after classes have ended, students clean their classrooms, hallways, stairs, and bathrooms, so there are no janitors.